Welcome back to Basement Integrity Podcast by IcyReno.
All right.
Last time we were talking about timing your underpinning project, right?
Yeah.
Today we're going to dig deep into why everybody in Toronto seems to be talking about underpinning these days.
Totally. I mean, we get a ton of questions about underpinning, and I think a lot of it has to do with how crazy the Toronto real estate market is.
It's wild, yeah.
So if you're listening and you're like, why is everyone so obsessed with underpinning? Well, this is your chance to figure that out.
Exactly. We're going to try to explain how Toronto's real estate is basically fueling this whole underpinning boom. And obviously we're drawing on our experience at IcyReno to give you guys the inside scoop.
Right.
Okay, so let's set the scene first. What's going on in Toronto real estate?
Well, it's no secret that Toronto real estate is pretty competitive.
It's insane.
It's nuts. And because of that, every single square foot in this city is valuable.
Oh, yeah.
Like really valuable. And homeowners are always looking for ways to make the most of their property.
I feel it.
Right. So one way that they're doing that we're seeing a lot is underpinning.
Underpinning. Makes sense.
It's becoming a pretty big deal.
Now, I know we talk about underpinning all the time,
Yeah, we do.
but for anyone who's new to this, let's break down exactly what it is. Like, what are we actually talking about when we say underpinning?
Okay. So basically underpinning is it's about making your basement deeper, stronger, better,
Right.
So what happens is we dig down below your existing basement floor.
So you're going even deeper.
Deeper, yeah. And then we reinforce the walls, basically creating a whole new foundation that's lower.
Got it.
So you end up with higher ceilings.
Which everyone wants.
Oh, yeah, especially in Toronto.
Yeah. Basements here can be like dungeons.
Exactly. But underpinning also makes your house way more stable, structurally sound.
So it's not just about more space.
Nope. It's about a better house overall.
Okay, so we've got this hot real estate market in Toronto,
Yes.
and underpinning is like this increasingly popular thing.
Right.
But how are those two things actually connected? How does the market drive the demand for underpinning?
So think about it like this. In Toronto, space is like gold.
It really is.
So if you can suddenly make your basement a real living space, not just a storage room,
Yeah,
that's huge.
it is.
Underpinning unlocks that potential.
By giving you the height you need.
Exactly. Instead of a dark, cramped basement, you have this bright, open space that's actually livable.
It's like finding extra square footage you never knew you had.
Pretty much. And that can be a game changer, especially in those central neighborhoods where houses are packed together.
Like the annex or Leaside, you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. There, you can't really build out.
Right.
So the only option is to build down, and underpinning lets you do that.
And that translates to a lot of value, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. In those areas, a finished basement, especially after underpinning, can boost your home value by 20-30% easy.
Whoa, okay. Big numbers.
It can be even more, honestly. Like if you create a really nice basement apartment, we've seen people's property values jump even higher.
Speaking of basement apartments, we all know that Toronto has a housing crisis, right?
Yeah,
Underpinning seems to be helping with that, too.
absolutely. Basement apartments are becoming such a key part of the housing solution here.
It makes sense.
And underpinning is like the foundation for creating legal, comfortable units.
You're literally creating the foundation.
Right. It gives you the ceiling height, the space for windows, everything you need to meet the building codes.
Safety first.
Exactly. And it's a huge help for homeowners who need that extra income, especially in areas like North York, Scarborough, where it's becoming super common.
So it's good for the homeowner, good for renters, good for the city.
Win, 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 win.
Now, Toronto is also known for its beautiful old homes.
Yeah, we've got some gems.
But those houses often come with basements that are, let's say, less than ideal.
Yeah, those charming old places in Cabbagetown, Riverdale, they often have these shallow basements, tiny and dark.
Plus, they might have some foundation issues just because of their age.
Right. Makes sense.
But underpinning can actually help preserve those historic homes while making them more livable.
That's cool.
It's like giving them a new lease on life. You get a stronger foundation, a more usable basement, but you keep the character of the house.
The best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Now, on the flip side, what about those luxury homes in Toronto?
Oh, yeah, those are fun projects.
I bet. How does underpinning come into play in those high-end neighborhoods?
So we're talking about places like Forest Hill, Rosedale. These homeowners, they want the best of the best.
Makes sense.
And underpinning lets them create some seriously amazing basement spaces.
Like what?
I'm talking wine cellars, home theaters, personal gyms, you name it. Things you just wouldn't have space for otherwise.
That's wild.
Underpinning makes it possible. Plus, it adds even more value to those already expensive properties.
Like a whole other level of luxury living.
It really is. Okay, so we've talked about all these amazing benefits of underpinning.
Yeah.
But let's be real, it's a big project.
It is.
So what about the cost? What should people be thinking about financially?
Okay, so underpinning in Toronto, it can cost anywhere from like $80 per linear foot to over 300.
It's quite a range.
It is. It is. It depends on things like the soil, how deep you're going, and how easy it is to access your house.
Gotcha.
But even though it's an investment, you have to consider the return.
Right.
And the return can be huge. Like you're talking about potentially adding hundreds of thousands of dollars to your home's value.
Yeah.
Sometimes even more. Plus, if you build a basement apartment, you've got that rental income coming in.
Which in Toronto is.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Like depending on the location and size, you could be getting $1,500, $2,000, even more per month.
That's a nice chunk of change.
It is. And beyond the money, you're also getting peace of mind, knowing that your house has this super strong foundation.
Which is really important with Toronto's crazy weather.
Totally.
So if someone's listening and thinking, okay, underpinning sounds awesome, I'm in.
Yeah.
What are some key things they should consider before they actually start the process?
All right, so first things first, you got to find the right contractor.
Obviously.
This is where IcyReno comes in, right?
Shameless plug.
But seriously, underpinning is not a DIY project.
Oh, no.
You need a licensed, experienced professional who knows Toronto, knows the soil, knows the building codes.
If complex.
It is. And another crucial thing, you need permits.
Oh, right, of course.
In Toronto, you can't just start digging without permits.
So make sure your contractor handles that.
Absolutely. We take care of all that for our clients.
Nice.
And last but not least, you have to be prepared for some disruption.
Yeah, construction's never fun.
The process, your basement's going to be a construction zone for a bit.
So just be ready for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
But why is right now a good time for people to think about underpinning in Toronto?
Well, Toronto's market is showing no signs of slowing down.
Nope.
People want space, they want value, and underpinning delivers both.
It does.
So whether you want a better living space, some extra income, or just a good investment, underpinning is a really smart move.
It's like unlocking the hidden potential of your house.
Exactly.
And that brings us to the end of our underpinning deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
So clearly, Toronto's real estate is a huge factor in why underpinning is so popular.
Totally.
It's all about maximizing your space, making your house more valuable, and maybe even helping with the housing situation.
That's the big picture.
We hope you guys understand a little bit better now why so many homeowners are digging deeper, literally.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about underpinning, you know who to call.
Give us a shout at IcyReno. We're happy to answer any questions.
And here's something to think about. As Toronto keeps growing, how will all this basement development change the city?
It's a good question.
It'll be interesting to see. Thanks for tuning in to Basement Integrity by IcyReno.
Ciao.